Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about the subject that maybe some people have talked about, and I know one of my friends talked about it. Well, two I should say, but it's something that it's really important and that I think should be talked a lot more about. What is it? Well, it's the symbols, the signs, and how they are used. Now, what I mean about that is that um, we know in magic there's many different signs, symbols, and mostly they all have a magical purpose. Okay, there's some sigil, some runes, some vine runes, Galdas affair, and many more. Now each symbol have all their meanings, and remember that depending on the patron, they can mean 2 or 3 or 4 different things. Okay, now where I want to go with that is I don't want to do some politics, but what happened last week in the United States, first of all, it was very sad. But what I didn't like, other than what happened, of course, is that I saw a guy. He was all dressed in a Viking with the horns and uh, like the fur coat and the Norse tattoo and things like that. And that kind of pissed me off because, first of all, I thought that it was really irrespectful for the heathens and pagans. And second of all, I don't know if that guy is really a heathen or pagan, but if he is, quite frankly, that was really not right to do that. Okay, now here you can see a Norse symbol, the Valknut. Okay, I saw that he had that tattooed on his chest, so that's why I don't know if it's a real pagan or not. But the way he was dressed was like, I'm sorry to say, but it was kind of a clown. Okay, now I think that he used these symbols and the Thor hammer also like painted in black, that which was ridiculous. But I think he used these symbols to kind of it's bad to say, but to kind of make a name for himself or have his 15 minutes of glory, you know. And it's sad, really, because it's with that kind of people that disrespect these symbols and they laugh about it or joke about it. It's because of them that, you know, there's so much misunderstanding and hate and racism and things like that in the pagan you name it, LHP and things like that. Okay, now it's one thing to wear this symbol proudly. Okay, if you're a practitioner of this path, I have nothing against that. Okay, but to just take these symbols and use them for committing such criminal act, I totally disagree, and I find it really irrespectful. Okay, now also there's another thing with that. Okay, if you saw these symbols or maybe some runes, kind of like this one or this one, okay, they mean something Magickal. So you can use them, you know, if you need some power or to guide you in your journey, okay? Or maybe one day you feel like you need, I don't know, some strength. You can use one rune for that, or a sigil if you wish, or, you know, many symbols like that. That's fine, perfectly fine. Now, I know that lots of you, and I should include myself too, I have some of these symbols tattooed on ourselves, okay? Like I said, I have nothing against that either. But before doing that, having them tattooed on yourself, you have to think through about it, okay? Because they're just not um, like if you draw or tattoo a rose on your hand, that's one thing, okay? But if you draw these symbols, like let's say for example, you take these runes, the Isa rune, okay? Now this rune mean eyes, stand still, you know, like you're basically um, um, like you're stuck, okay? Now if you have that tattooed on yourself and you kind of feel like, well, really you're always stuck, uh, kind of never going forward, this can be a reason why, okay? Same thing with this rune, the Odal rune. Now this can mean home, inheritance, and things like that, okay, this way. But now depending on how it is tattooed, so let's say you have it tattooed like that, can mean homelessness and losing your inheritance and so much more. So if these kind of things happen, well, this might be the reason why. Same for other symbols, okay, depending on their meaning. Now, also, like I said, if you get them tattooed on yourself, you will have their energy inside of you. Now, I know you're gonna tell me, yeah, but if I don't like it, we can always have them erase or thing like that. You can, but remember, it will be, you know, inside of you. Even if you don't see it, the energy will still be there. So really think about it before doing it. And also, if it's rune or bind rune, things like that, be sure to know the person who does it to you, okay? Make sure they know what they're doing, because I've saw some work and really, yeah, I mean, a 4-year-old might have done a better work, okay? I also heard that if you want some runes, for example, tattooed on you, it should be someone from the Norse pagan or a heathen that does it for yourself. Now I know there's not many that do that, but I should say it would be great. Personally, the one that made my rune is a good friend of mine, and I was glad she made it, because it was not just, you know, a drawing and tattooed and like that. We had a ritual, and she's a Norse pagan too, so you know, that was great. So really, that was a great experience. Now, like I said, always think through, because it's something that, you will live with all of your life. And if you go and have a tattoo just because, for example, you saw a TV series like the Vikings, or something that touches you, that I would say really think through it, okay? And always research what you're gonna have tattooed on yourself. Really research, because what's shown on TV is not always the reality. Okay, so very important to research. And don't go do it also just because you want to provoke. Okay, that's not great either. So always think through, and if you are really sure that's what you want, then I say go for it. And be proud to wear it. And also, please, please be respectful of it. Because really, that really kind of pissed me off, because I know it's not the first and the only one that will do it, but it's sad. It gives a bad name to these communities, and they don't deserve that. So that was my kind of rant, if I can say. And I hope that before you do something like that, you will think about it. So enjoy your day, and thank you for joining me.